What's up, you guys? I'm here with a new video today, and I'm here to bring you guys, unfortunately, the episode of Potential This Format on Hieratic Rulers, Dragon Rulers, whatever the hell you want to call it. Um, I knew this video would have to be done. I know a lot of people are not going to enjoy this video. I'm going to try and make this video as enjoyable as possible by telling you guys that this isn't the best deck of the format. I'm going to start with that just right off the bat. I do not think this deck is the best deck of the format at all. I tested it. I really didn't like it. I don't think that it's as broken as everyone says it is. It's decent at best. It has some pretty cool tricks, but it's not the best deck. Water, Fire Fist, Gear Gale, all these other decks, in my opinion, are superior to this deck. Granted, this deck has seen a decent amount of success. This is just a template of it. Hieratic Rulers, splashing the Hieratics with Dragon Rulers, etc., etc. The only reason the deck was being played at all is because of this card. It's like over 2 years old from Galactic Overlord. You guys can see the ridiculous prices. This card was a $2 card. I used to see it at locals for $2, and it went up to like $30 because everyone discovered that, oh my, I can Foolish Burial a Hieratic. I can bring back a Banished Hieratic. I have infinite fuel for my Dragon Rulers if I have two of them on the board at the same time. So that's why this card shot up in value. Now, what do I honestly think of the potential of Hieratics' format? I think regular Hieratics are cool. Paul Cooper Hieratics, swag addicts, whatever you want to call them. The go ham version where they literally just wing beat you and then like OTK you. I like that version of Hieratics. This version of Hieratics I thought was going to be really, really good. I thought that, oh, this is kind of cool. They're trying to use Hieratics with Dragon Rulers. Okay, I can see the potential making a Tum and then going into your rank 7s, etc. But honestly, I was not that impressed. I thought that the deck was going to be a lot better than it was. The deck is fine, in my opinion. I'm not going to say the deck's bad. I don't think the deck's bad. I just think the deck needs to have like an established build. I think that all the pressure was being put on Pat Hoban and being put on other players to build the deck. Robert Boyajian had his own build that he topped YCS Sydney with, and he used Phoenix Chains and Call of the Haunted. And I think Call of the Haunted is probably one of the best additions this deck had, because whenever you draw Dragon Shrine and you draw Ashes, you're going to put monsters in the graveyard. Why not bring them back for free with Call of the Haunted? Like, that was the whole point. It just was so much fuel. It was easy ways to OTK the opponent, and I like that about the deck. I thought that having Call of the Haunted was really cool in the deck. But I do feel that the deck does have potential. It works pretty much like the Dragon Ruler decks do now. You just fuel your graveyard, banish for the rulers, and just overwhelm your opponent with Dragon Rulers. They do have some pretty neat tricks. You can start combos with a Set or Tefnuit, depending on if you're going first or second, and you can do cool plays. Usually your turn 1 ends with a Atom and a Draco Sack, which is pretty cool. It's good opening plays. That's pretty good. Like, potential wise, that's really good. A lot of decks can't open that strong, but still, I felt that the deck, a lot of versions of the deck weren't running Wing Beat. They were siding it. A lot of versions were only maining 1 to 2 MSTs, possibly 1 or 2 Trap Stuns, and I felt that there wasn't that much back row removal, which can be a real problem for this deck. Like, the reason why I feel this deck is not as great as everyone says is Valor on a Tum hurts, and a lot of people will say, okay, well, then it's just a floating 2400, but still, 2400 is really not that hard to get over anymore. It's pretty easy, actually. So when I looked at this deck, it was like, all right, I see speed in the deck. You're running Upstart, you're running Reckless, which I really don't like Reckless that much. Like, I'm having a real conflict of interest with this card. This entire format, I've just been not sure on this card at all. Like, I've tried it in a lot of decks, and I just really haven't liked it for whatever reason. But I mean, it was cool that you could use cards like Monster Gate to get combos going. You could use real traps. You can main deck Skill Drain if need be. Skill Drain was cool. It locked down like all the rogue matches, but I mean, if you had to skill drain way too early against Firefish, you were just going to take a ton of damage, and then you'd have to be able to come back with your Dragon Rulers, and by then they would have set multiple back rows, so that could be a real problem. This being one of the templates that people sent me, I was surprised there was no back row removal. I mean, okay, Sue has the back row removal power, but honestly, you can only do it once per turn, so if you're staring down 4 back row and you have nothing but a Sue, you're hitting 1, that's as bad as blind MSTing, so I really don't think that that was sufficient enough. I think the deck should main at least MST, Trap Stun, or Wing Beat if people choose to make Wing Beat. That's why I feel regular Hieratics are better. I think Hieratics have a lot more potential than this deck. This is a deck that a lot of people are using, though. A lot of people are using it at the ARG circuits. It has seen success. There's several people that have topped with it. So I'm not going to say the deck's bad. I don't think the deck's bad at all. I just think that it needs to keep being innovated if it's going to be a deck that people use. I know a lot of you guys are tired of Dragon Rulers. Unfortunately, you guys, these are 4 of the most powerful cards that have ever been created in this game. And they won't die. Like, literally, not only will the deck not die, the dragons won't die. Basically, there's always going to be a way to bring them back. You can banish 2 dragons to bring them back. You can banish elements to bring them back. You can use burial from a different dimension, if you end up banishing them for their effects, like whatever happens, these cards always have a way of coming back. Call of the Hunt makes the deck crazy, bringing back multiple Dragon Rulers at a time. It just happens. They're 4 cards that, unless they're banned, they're just not going to really go anywhere. They can be splashed in multiple decks. The Dragon Rulers, the 4 Dragon Rulers are always going to have a place in this game. That's something I think a lot of people need to understand. But as far as the potential of this deck goes, I'll say it's decent. It's in the middle. I wouldn't say it's the highest on the spectrum. I think Mermails and Fire Fist are the highest on the spectrum right now. Prophecy, like right behind them, and a lot of other decks that'll have more potential the rest of this format. This format is only going on till April, so these episodes will change and there'll be new innovations to decks. Will Hieratic Rulers be a deck that sticks around? I don't really know. I think there'll always be someone that's going to try and innovate this deck and try and make it work. The deck does have potential, but I feel that it needs to be established a little more. The deck needs to be worked on. It needs to be improved. It needs to work out little kinks, because a lot of players have said that they found problems with the deck, that sometimes you'd open with weird hands and you wouldn't be able to do a lot. So I feel that can be just one problem a lot of people have. But I mean, outside of that, it's just a deck that people want to try. They want to, try and top with it. They want to do well with it. They want to still use dragons. I mean, more power to them. But that's all I'm going to add on this episode. I don't really have a lot to say. I just feel that the deck is subpar. I think it's good. I don't think it's the best deck at all, this format. I feel that it's up there. It'll definitely be up there in the top 10, but it's definitely not the best deck of the format. Some people will probably argue with me and say it is the best deck of the format. And I mean, to each his own. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Hieratic Rulers are good? Do you think they're not good? I personally think regular Hieratics are better. That's just me. A lot of people will say, well, it's either go ham or go home, but I mean, honestly, that's kind of how the deck goes. So it's very hard. I think the one thing I'll end on is that the fact that you're trying to give Hieratics a grind game is kind of hard. They're a deck that OTKs. They're a deck that wing beats you for like 3 or 4, clears your board, and then just OTKs you. They're not really there to grind, but trying to put real traps in the deck tries to make them grind. So that's something that I think is new, and that's one thing I think a lot of people are discovering is not the right fit for Hieratics. But I mean, I don't know, as the format progresses out for the next month, we'll see if the deck continues to do well. But anyways, leave your thoughts below. Do you think Hieratic Rulers are here to stay? Do you think that they're just a gimmick? Do you think that regular Hieratics will take over? That's what I personally think, and I think that a lot of people agree with me that regular Hieratics are the better way to go if you are going to run Hieratics. And the Dragon Rulers are just bonus. At this point, the 4 Dragon Rulers are just bonus, so that's pretty much all I got to say about them. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it wasn't too boring. I tried to just give my opinion. I feel that the deck has a lot of limitations. Can get shut down really easy by Effect Veiler, Max C, Light Imprisoning Mirror, Soul Drain, Debunk. A bunch of crazy cards can really take out this deck quite easily. So that's all I'm going to say on this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts below on the deck, and that's all I got to say. And please suggest some other episodes. I'll be doing Gravekeepers and some other decks coming up soon, but I just wanted to get this one out of the way since I know it's not that many people's favorite. So that's all I got to say, you guys. Thank you for watching.